Hi, my friend. Welcome to my daily English podcast. My name is Liz, and I'm honestly so happy, so excited, and so grateful that you're here with me today. Really, I want you to take a deep breath right now and feel proud of yourself. Because the simple fact that you pressed play on this episode means something important. You're showing up for your English. You're showing up for your future self. And that already makes you different from most people who say they want to learn but never take action. And let me ask you something right away. I want your honest answer. Has this ever happened to you? You're in a situation where you need to speak English, maybe during a trip, maybe with a tourist, maybe in a meeting, or even online. You know the words. You studied them. You practiced them. You wrote them. You memorized them. But when it's time to speak, everything disappears. Your mind becomes shy. Your tongue becomes frozen. Your confidence drops, and you think, why is this happening? I understand English when I read. I sometimes understand English when I listen. So why can't I speak? If this sounds familiar, please know you're not alone. So many learners feel exactly the same way, and they think something is wrong with them. But nothing is wrong with you. Nothing. The problem is not your brain, not your age, not your level, not your intelligence. The problem is that the method you used was probably incomplete. And today, I'm going to show you the solution. The real solution. And it's so simple you might be surprised. The truth is that you don't need perfect grammar to speak well. You don't need to memorize 10,000 words. You don't need to know complicated rules or academic terms. You need one single skill that all fluent speakers have. One skill that schools and courses don't focus on enough. One skill that builds your speaking automatically, naturally, and without pain. That skill is listening. And I know what you're thinking. Listening? Really? Just listening? Yes, listening. And the reason listening is the key is because listening is the gateway to everything else. Listening creates the foundation your brain needs to speak. Listening gives your brain real English, not artificial textbook English. Listening shows you the natural rhythm, the natural pronunciation, the natural patterns, and the real-life expressions that people use every single day. But I don't want you to just believe me. I want to show you. I want to guide you step by step today, so by the end of this episode, you fully understand why listening works, how it works, and how you can use it starting right now, today, in a simple and effective way. Before we jump in, I want to know something about you. Really, I want to read your comment and understand who you are. So please tell me, what is your biggest difficulty in English? How long have you been studying? And where are you from? Because I don't want to be just a voice in your ears. I want to be someone who knows you, someone who supports you, someone who helps you grow. You are part of this community, and your voice matters. Now, imagine a little scene with me. You're in an airport. You're waiting for your flight. A person sits next to you and asks, "Excuse me, is the seat taken?" In that moment, your heart doesn't explode. Your brain doesn't freeze. Instead, you just smile and say, "No, you can sit." Naturally, calmly, without thinking too much, without fear. That future is real, and it's closer than you think. Today, we're going to explore this together. And as we go along, I'll share tiny stories, ask little questions, give you micro hooks every 30 seconds or so, just to keep your mind awake and active. This is your time. This is your moment. And I'm here to guide you. Let's begin this journey. Let's talk about the only skill you truly need to speak fluent English, listening. So now that you're here with me, let's go deeper. Let's answer the big question. Why is listening the key? Why is listening more important than grammar? Why is listening more important than memorizing vocabulary? Why is listening the foundation of fluency? The answer actually comes from something very simple. Humans learn languages by listening first. Always. Every single time. Think about babies. Think about children. They don't open grammar books. They don't sit with notebooks. They don't take grammar tests. They listen. For months and months, they just listen. They listen to voices, sounds, tones, conversations, stories, songs, laughter, arguments, everything. And their brain is quietly, silently building patterns. And one day, after thousands of listening hours, they speak. Adults are the same. Your brain still learns languages through listening. When you listen a lot, something beautiful happens. Your brain starts to recognize patterns automatically, without memorizing, without studying, without pressure. The language becomes familiar. It becomes predictable. It becomes comfortable. And then speaking becomes natural. Let me tell you the story of Anna again, but in more detail, because it illustrates exactly why listening works. Anna studied English for 6 years. She used books, apps, grammar worksheets, long vocabulary lists, and lots of traditional exercises. She said she knew English in theory, but she couldn't speak. When someone talked to her, she panicked. She froze. She said, "Liz, I feel stupid." My heart broke when I heard that, because she wasn't stupid at all. She was just missing the key ingredient. So I made her a new plan. Listen every day. Just listen. 10 minutes. Simple content, slow content. Content she understood. Content she liked. At first she said, "Liz, this feels too easy." But after a few weeks, something started to happen. She began to understand English without translating. She started recognizing expressions that she never studied. And little by little, when she tried to speak, the words began to appear naturally. By the end of 3 months, she told me, "Liz, I think in English sometimes." And that is the power of listening. Listening teaches your brain to think in English. Listening teaches your brain the natural order of words. Listening teaches your brain the sound of grammar, so you don't need to remember rules. You just feel them. Now let me ask you something important for your progress. How much do you listen to English every day? 5 minutes? 10? 0? If your answer is not enough, that's okay. You're here now. You're learning. You're improving. And this episode is your chance to change your routine. Let's do a small, natural repetition practice right now. Repeat after me with calm rhythm. I learn every time I listen. My speaking grows from listening. I don't need to be perfect to improve. My brain understands more every day. Good. When you repeat, you're not just saying words. You're training your mouth. You're training your breathing. You're training your rhythm. This is listening plus speaking, the perfect combination. Now let's go deeper into something equally important: the mistakes you must avoid. Understanding mistakes is extremely important because mistakes can block your progress for years if you don't fix them. And many learners make the exact same mistakes again and again without realizing it. Let's talk about the biggest ones. Mistake 1: speaking without listening enough. This is like trying to drive without fuel. You can have a beautiful car, but without gas, it doesn't move. You can have a good vocabulary, but without listening, the words don't come out. You need input before output, listening before speaking. This is how fluency grows. If you skip this step, you'll always feel stuck. Repeat with me. I listen first, then I speak. Mistake 2. Listening without attention. Some learners play English audio in the background and think that's enough. Yes, passive listening helps, but it's not the whole process. You also need focused listening. You need moments where you pay attention to pronunciation, rhythm, the way words connect, the melody of the sentence, and even the emotion behind the voice. For example, listen to this natural expression. What you doing? It's the real-life version of what are you doing? Hearing this helps your brain understand real English conversations. Repeat. What you doing? Good. Mistake 3. Listening to material that is too difficult. This is a huge mistake. If you choose content that is too advanced, your brain becomes tired. You stop enjoying it. You feel lost. You think English is too hard. But the problem is not English. The problem is the level. You need content you understand 60 to 80%. Mistake 4. Feeling guilty for not understanding everything. This feeling destroys confidence, and it's completely unnecessary. Understand this. Even native speakers don't understand everything. They miss words. They mishear sentences. They ask people to repeat things. You're allowed to do the same. Repeat. I don't need to understand everything. I learn a little more every day. Mistake 5. Stopping too early. Some learners try listening for a week or two and then say, it doesn't work for me. But fluency comes from consistency, from repetition, from time. You don't become a great runner in 3 days, you don't build muscle in a week, and you don't build fluency instantly. But if you continue, the results come. Always. A listener once told me he understood only half of my podcast episodes. I told him, great. He didn't expect that answer, but I meant it. Half is amazing, because half today becomes 60% tomorrow, 70% next month, 80% after that. Growth happens gradually. You're doing the right thing, I promise. Now let's move to something extremely practical. How to actually create a listening routine that will transform your English. Now it's time for the practical part. The part that will help you build real progress every single day. A listening routine is powerful because it removes confusion. It removes the stress of wondering, what should I do today? It creates clear steps that you can follow without thinking. Here's how to build a routine that actually works. Step 1. Listen every day. Daily exposure is key. You don't need 1 hour. You don't need long sessions. 5 or 10 minutes can create massive progress when repeated daily. Think about where you can add English in your day. Can you listen while brushing your teeth? While cooking? While cleaning? While driving? While waiting in line? These moments are perfect. Step 2. Mix active and passive listening. Active listening means you pay attention. You follow the speaker. You repeat. You imitate. You shadow. Passive listening means English plays in the background while you do something else. Both are powerful in different ways. Active listening trains precision. Passive listening builds comfort. Let's do a little shadowing exercise now. Repeat with me at the same time. I'm going to keep learning English. Again, I'm going to keep learning English. Step 3. Choose content at your level. Simple content helps your brain relax. When you feel relaxed, you learn more. Choose podcasts like this one. Choose slow English dialogues. Choose easy videos. Choose things you enjoy. Step 4. Repeat phrases frequently. Repetition is your superpower. Every time you repeat a phrase, you train your speaking muscles. You train your rhythm. You train your confidence. Repeat this. I can understand more every day. Step 5. Celebrate small wins. Small wins are the heart of progress. Listening for 5 minutes is a win. Understanding one new expression is a win. Noticing a new pronunciation detail is a win. Celebrate these moments. They keep you motivated. Let me remind you of the math. 10 minutes a day becomes 70 minutes a week. 70 minutes a week becomes 300 minutes a month. 300 minutes a month becomes 60 hours a year. 60 hours of real English entering your brain. That changes everything. Imagine yourself in 6 months. Imagine your confidence. Imagine how natural speaking will feel. Now let's go to the final part, a guided practice to train your speaking right now. Welcome to the final part of this episode. Now it's your time to practice. You already learned why listening is powerful, how it works, and how to use it daily. Now let's train your speaking gently, naturally, and without pressure. Repeat the sentences after me with a calm voice and relaxed shoulders. I can learn English. English is getting easier. I don't need to be perfect. I understand more every day. I trust the learning process. I'm growing step by step. My listening helps my speaking. My brain learns more every time I listen. Very good. Now let's practice a simple dialogue. Listen first, then repeat each line naturally. Person A, hi, how are you? Person B, I'm good. I'm learning English. Person A, really? That's great. Person B, yeah, I listen every day. Excellent. This tiny dialogue helps you build rhythm, confidence, and natural pronunciation. Now let me give you a simple daily exercise you can use forever. Choose a short English audio. Listen one time without pressure. Listen again and repeat one sentence. Listen again and shadow the speaker. Smile. You just trained your brain. Remember this. Fluency is not about speed. It's about comfort. It's about speaking without fear. It's about trusting yourself. And listening gives you all of that. You're doing amazing. Truly. Many learners feel insecure and frustrated, but you're here, you're learning, and you're improving step by step. This is something you should be proud of. Before we finish, I want to say thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for giving me your time and trust. It means a lot to me. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a like, and activate notifications so you don't miss the next episodes. And don't forget to comment. What is your biggest difficulty in English? How long have you been studying? Where are you from? I really want to know you. This is Liz from my Daily English podcast. Keep listening, keep learning, keep believing in yourself. See you in the next episode.